Alright, so this is just going to be a quick video log vlog update kind of on my training. It's 6 days out from the North Face 50 Mile Championships in San Francisco. So it's December 1st, 2013. And going into this race, this is a big one. A lot of prize money on the line. It's ridiculous. It's $10,000 to win, which is the most of any ultra in the US that I know of besides Run Rabbit Run, which is the same. Ridiculous amount of money, ridiculous field and competition. I think there'll be a preview on iRunFar, I'm sure, in the next couple days. But looking on the men's side of the field, you have the top 3 guys from Yurok. You got all the top 15 to top 20 guys basically in the country who could have a chance at winning this race. And I might go out on a limb and say it's the most loaded field ever assembled for a US Ultra. At least for sure at the 50 mile distance. So it should be very exciting, very fun, interesting. I hope it's not a monsoon like it was last year, and I hope I could stay on course this year and that it's marked well and the aid stations are actually set up. It's kind of brutal for this race because it starts at 5 a.m. so you're running in the dark for the first 90 minutes, and when you're like me and you don't know the course, don't know the area, there's a lot of forks in the trail, it could get confusing. So hopefully that won't be an issue this year. But moving on to my training leading up to this, I'm feeling pretty confident and pretty good. I had a disaster at Yurok, as you may have known. Totally, maybe the worst race of my life probably ever, and I've had some pretty bad races in my life. So Yurok, I think I overtrained a bit. 100K distance is brutal for me. Snow didn't help things. It was 66 miles long. Not a good day. And I was looking at my training log leading up to that, and I realized I probably outdid myself with too much vertical, too soon, not adapting to that, but then also just doing some tempo run days and then long hard days right after it, back to back, when usually I'd have 2 easy days between each tempo run and workout, things like that. I just got obsessed with going up mountains all the time. And I think now, learning from that experience, I've tried to adjust my training for this North Face 50 more like what I did before Lake Sonoma or what I did before White River, 2 of my better 50 milers. And basically what I looked at is I got too far away from my roots as a road marathoner and doing actual track speed workouts, things like VO2 max workouts and focused lactate threshold repeats or shorter tempo runs that were more intense. And I kind of got away from that speed and that muscle tension and good running form, good mechanics, fast leg turnover, because I think that's what really helped me gain efficiency for longer distances. When I first moved up, I was coming off a track and road marathoning for years and years and years. So I'm trying to get back with my speed and to work those aerobic systems at a more intense level. With that being said, Yurok was a really humbling experience. I got my butt kicked by a lot of guys, and I barely finished the race. When I look back at my 15-year running career, I've been training year-round and competing basically for 15 years. That goes down as the worst race of my life. And in marathons, I ran the New York City Marathon in 2009. I got chipped by Kerry Goucher and Paula Radcliffe. That was a brutal race. I was running 5:10, 5:15 pace through 20 miles. Hit the wall really hard, blew up. By mile 23, I was walking into Central Park, and there was a serious concern that I was going to fall and split my head open on the pavement because I was so dizzy. I couldn't even walk in a straight line, and that was just for 26 miles. I fell apart that bad, and I was splitting 10-minute miles, doing a combination of walking and running, and that was from running 5-minute miles. So that was a pretty epic slowdown. Whereas at Yurok, I took it to another level. I actually decided that walking from Minturn to the finish, which is about 10 miles, was too hard. And so I decided to stop on the trail, the single track. I stopped walking, but then I decided that standing was also too hard. So I had to sit down in the middle of the trail, and I just sat down and closed my eyes, and I don't know what I pretended I was dying, or it was, a horrible feeling, and I just laid there for a couple minutes with my eyes closed and was totally reduced, totally humbled by the course and the competition. And after a couple of minutes, I kind of snapped out of it, and I realized, you're still in a race. There's going to be 20 guys that are going to roll down and pass you. You're going to lose your sky running series, and Emily and Stephanie are going to come roll you up, and you're going to get chicked again. So that kind of gave me enough motivation to open my eyes and start walking again to the finish. And I also knew all my parents and a lot of relatives and my girlfriend were waiting for me at the finish line. And it was starting to get dark, and I was like, that really sucks. They're waiting out in the cold for hours and hours, and they're probably wondering where I am. So that was really the main motivation to finish Yurok, and finish I barely did. So hopefully that won't happen again this next weekend, the North Face, because I did drop out last year because of a variety of issues. One being getting lost. But final words about my training, feeling a lot more confident. I think I've dialed in things a little bit better. My vertical hasn't been quite where I probably should have it. I don't think I've ever cracked even 10,000, 12,000 feet of climbing in any given week in the last 7 weeks leading up to the race, which is kind of scary because the race has about 10,000 feet of climbing. But I don't think I really did that before White River or Lake Sonoma either. And I've been focusing a lot more on my speed and VO2 max by doing 2-mile repeats, which is my favorite, 4 by 2 miles on some hilly trails in Boulder here at altitude, as well as a couple hilly long runs up Green Bear, South Boulder Peak. So that had about 5,000 feet of climbing over 24 miles, and felt good on that. And then getting back to doing long runs at the res. The Boulder Res is one of the flatter areas around here, and I could just get out and roll 27 miles in about 3 hours flat for my last one, which was surprisingly felt pretty good. So I think the fat burning's there hopefully, and I've been hitting 90 to 100 miles a week pretty consistently, getting in those long runs and doing that's more intense speed work. So I like where my fitness is at. I feel healthy so far, pretty strong. I got my blood checked a couple weeks ago, and hematocrit levels were good, iron was good. My magnesium was starting to get a little low again, so I've been upping my supplementation with magnesium, potassium, I think it's called aspartates, something like that. So that definitely helps with muscle function and all sorts of energy systems in the body. So important thing there. Taking a lot of healthy stuff from I do have a health sponsor, Flora Health. Udo's Oil 7 sources for omega-3, and then all sorts of antioxidants from goji berries to their green blend, which Sandy and I have been mixing in a lot of healthy smoothies. Actually, you should check out Sandy's smoothie video here. I'll link to it there. Subscribe to her channel as well. Got new running form videos coming out and more adventures. So yeah, going into the weekend, I'm definitely pretty nervous. It's a big race, but I also know that if things don't go ideal, the worst happens. I'm still pretty satisfied with how this year of racing went. 2013 was a good season for me, and I can't really ask for anything more. So just really thankful and glad that I'm in this position to be able to do these events and to compete hopefully with some of the best in the world. So thanks for your support, and thanks for watching, and I wish you the best with your training and racing as well. So hopefully we'll get some more training talk videos out there, and people could ask some more questions or bounce some ideas around. And try to get back to as many questions as possible, but it's hard because I just get flooded with different topics from different social media outlets all the time. So I do read the comments though, so thanks, and I really appreciate the support. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more VO2 Max Productions.